Rise from your grave.
Hello Quakers, and welcome back to the Quake Grave, where we're actually continuing our playthrough of the original Quake. This episode we're going to be playing through episode 3. So if you haven't already watched me play through episodes 1 and 2, I recommend you do that now, before you go any further. Episode 3 was pretty unique for me because I haven't played any of these maps before, so it's a completely new experience. So, without further ado, on with the show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the world of Quake. As you can see here, we have both of our rune plates for episode 1 and 2. We're heading into episode 3. Into the slipgate we go. And it looks like we're starting off episode 3 similar to episode 1 with a little bit of a base level here. Actually similar to both episode 1 and 2, right? All three first episodes start with the base level. Interesting. Trying to figure out how to get over to that mega health there. I have no idea how to get over to it. And, unfortunately, I never find out how. As I'm hitting the axe against the wall, trying to figure out a way to the mega health that I fail to get to, just wanted to go into, or at least come into this saying that I, so far, have really enjoyed my time playing Quake again. The first episode, always a blast. Actually, finally playing through the second episode, that was a lot more fun than I was anticipating. The episodes so far, I think they still live up to the spookiness that I actually remember them retaining. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun revisiting though, even so. I think I mentioned this in one of the other episodes that playing through a lot of the other custom levels that are available now for these, for this game in all those years back then. God, 20 years ago now. It's crazy to think about. But playing through all of those custom levels have really, I think, helped me to understand Quake in a lot of ways. It's interesting that I'm doing it backwards. I'm sure the majority of people played through Quake, quite a few times before they ever touched, a custom level. Maybe played through it at least once before touching a custom level, but not me. Again, I decided to go the backwards route and play quite a few custom levels before I actually get into and play this classic FPS. But what can I say? As I mentioned in previous episodes, the game frightened me, and as I just said, I think the game retains a lot of that spooky atmosphere, which is cool. I mean, I think a lot of it is nostalgia. I'm sure newer fans of Quake are watching this, going, these graphics are so old, nothing scares me. But I think a lot of what made Quake spooky to me is the sounds. A lot of id Software games, and I might have touched on this already, but I would say the majority of them have excellent sound engineering going on. Like, whoever did the sound for the games did an excellent job. I believe in this game, a lot of the sounds and music were done by Trent Reznor himself. It's pretty interesting, considering so many of the sounds are retained in my memory as just being these powerful feeling sounds. Like right there, that super shotgun sound, the double barrel. It's like, oof, man, it just sounds so powerful when you shoot it. The growling that the grunts have that you could hear right there. Right there, yeah, it's such a creepy sound, The ogres also have a growl that sticks with me. The sound of the rocket launcher being shot. All these things have definitely stuck with me over the years. You see up there was a little secret that I was trying to figure out. And it's another secret in this level that I just could not quite get to, but I do find this one. Let's get ourselves a free quad here. Now, this is one of the levels I played through, and when I finished it, I immediately felt like I was playing a custom-built level for Quake. Not so much that it's bad, but it almost doesn't have that same, id Software quality that most of the maps have, that you come to expect from most of the levels. Which is always weird to say, considering it's a map that was created by the company themselves. It's odd to be like, oh yeah, that map isn't as great. But it's strange because it's also a map that may feel like a custom-built map, but it's also a map that just doesn't seem to fit with the rest of the episode. And that might be just because it's a base map. Here I am looking for more ammo and secrets and stuff. There's this little jumping area here that I was trying to figure out why it was even here, because it doesn't seem like there's anything up here, but don't know. No clue. I go back here, still trying to figure out how to get up in that alcove. And I do see in the slime down there that there seem to be areas to visit down there. There's little doorways and such. And I don't know if those are just there in case you fall in. The other thing, too, is that there's 2 quads to use in this level against enemies. You don't normally find that in here. I finally find one of the secrets, which is good. But you don't normally find 2 quads in an id-made level. Here we go. I ride this over here. Get some more shells. Always useful. Hit 100 on shells, so I didn't bother grabbing the other one. Not that I could. But yeah, the 2 quads thing. Normally you find 2 quads, especially in maps being made nowadays, you would find them in large maps. There we are, trying to figure out how the hell to even get up to that. Again, another secret I just have no idea about. But yeah, I found that weird because the enemies in this level are not difficult to defeat, and it's not like you end up running into ogres or, Death Knights or anything like that. By the way, it was corrected on that recently. Thank you, Taron or Torin95. Let me know that, hey, it's actually Death Knight. It's not Hell Knight. Stop saying Hell Knight. So I apologize if people were irritated by that. I've always retained as Hell Knight. I feel like it flows better than Death Knight. Death Knight, I guess I associate with World of Warcraft now that that's a class in the game and has been for some time now. So yeah, as I was saying, the last level, the base level, just not big enough or not difficult enough to warrant 2 quads. So I find that really strange. And it's almost like something you see in a more amateur-ish level when it comes to custom levels for Quake. This level, however, man, I really enjoyed this one. Atmosphere is great. Enemy placement is great. Secret placement is great. There's just so many good things going on here. Here you can kind of see the Scrag hanging out behind this block here. So we'll just go around, take him out. Love that the floor at the beginning like sucks that key up as you're about to grab it, so it's like, nope, I don't think so. Then you hit this button, and I love the reveal of that because it just shows a hole in the floor. It's like, oh, there was a button there the whole time. You could have actually probably got to that button by other means without even going upstairs. But I thought the reveal of that was really cool, and it's interesting because a lot of maps don't just, move a block and reveal like a hole in the floor for you to go to. And if they do, it's usually like something you got to fall down and lose health to get down to. But this time, you're just falling down like a few feet to hit a button. I thought that was cool. So here I find out, oh, there's another way to go. Mega health, boom. Little secret alcove there. I thought that was a clever secret. Because with the bars on the windows and everything, I would have never thought to look down there. Only looked down there because I actually heard the zombies moaning down there, so... Pretty clever hidden secret there, I thought. Got Ogre jumping down to take me out. Love that they, in the later levels here, they start adding the Ogres jumping out at you, because that's something that is just rampant in custom-made levels, especially nowadays. Map authors love to have the Ogres jumping around, and I can't say that I don't like it myself. Ogre got trapped on the elevator, so he's... We're gonna have to take him out in a second here. But there are a ton of Ogres in this level. As you can tell, they are just everywhere. Jump this lava to grab that backpack there. Hit the old button, reveal the teleporter, and back in we go. There you go, that's another sound from Quake that just sticks in my memory. The teleporter sound, that little whistle. Such a cool little sound. Here, a bit of health there. We'll waste some shells here trying to take out this Ogre. Take out that pest. Down here we got ourselves a fiend. Oh, we found another little secret here. Look at that! It's almost as if I'm starting to understand how secrets work in Quake. I feel like it's always been one of the things I'm terrible about is finding secrets. But in this, I feel like my ratio for finding secrets in levels has gone up exponentially. If anybody is keeping track of my secrets progress through all of these levels, I think you're going to see that percentage of secrets found to secrets not found going right up. Here we can finally unlock this silver key door. And in we go. Immediately greeted by zombies. So as much as I have loved... oh man, I just pissed that Shambler off immediately. That Shambler yell is just frightening. So, as I was saying, as much as I've really enjoyed playing through these episodes of Quake, and I really have, part of me really can't wait to get back to playing custom maps again. There's just something really exciting about downloading a map that, you know, people have rated and talked about for a while, and you know, kind of giving your own view on, especially if you disagree with what a lot of people have said. I feel like I tend to agree with most reviews of Quake maps over on Quakedicted.com. By the way, if you haven't gone, you want to play Quake maps, you want to download some custom maps or custom mods, whatever, Quakedicted.com, excellent resource for all things Quake. But there's something super fun about downloading those custom maps and trying to see what your opinion's going to be, you know, compared to everybody else's. You know, as I was saying, like, I feel like the majority of my opinions on most of the levels that I play are very similar to what everybody else has, but once in a while you do get those gems, you know, those gems that nobody has rated, no one has commented on, you know, everyone has forgotten about, and I love finding those maps and giving them a shot, even if they're not great maps, because at one point, you know, however many years ago, somebody spent time building this little map for Quake. And even if they're not gaming anymore or playing Quake or wherever they are in their lives at this point, you know, they spent a little portion of their time, you know, dedicated to Quake, making a level. And to me, you know, that's always worth like a quick 5 or 10 minutes to play through their level from back then. There you go. I love that level. As we play through the rest of these levels, I feel like they're going to have to contend with that one because that one just felt so well paced and put together. Now, of course, those of you who have watched the show in the past obviously know that, and there's no way I can jump over this health without grabbing it, so I just get it. But you obviously know that there are some maps that I have played that are just god-awful. And that's part of the fun, too. As much as I've said in the past that I like to try to find the positives in everybody's maps, you are going to find those maps that there isn't anything positive to say about them, or they're just a room with an enemy and that's the end. And you're like, what the hell happened here? Which is fine, whatever. But that's part of the fun of playing these maps that no one's touching or no one wants to touch. The fun is playing through a level that isn't good. I mean, I think that's part of my fascination with playing the old maps, is like, sometimes you'll find one that honestly is great, but I would say more often than not with the old maps, you're playing maps that are, before level design was put into the community's hands, aside from Doom, obviously. Here we go, we find a pretty easy secret there. But a lot of people wouldn't think to jump into the water, I guess. But, Quake and Doom being the originators of, hey, make some great community, or, have the community make some, great stuff for everybody to play. With that in mind, game design wasn't understood by as many people as it is today. Today, indie developers are creating all kinds of stuff, and some of it is, great, some of it is just downright weird, but everybody has some sort of belief or theory in design, I thought that this part was really cool. Not the getting hit by the Death Knight, but these torture parts here, you got to hit these buttons really quick as to not get smushed. So there's one, and as you hit them, more enemies pop up. I thought this was the pretty cleverly done part of the level. So, yeah, I guess my point of what I was saying earlier, though, is that part of the fun is playing through a bad map, and part of me likes playing through bad maps. I'm not usually a huge fan if the bad map is just bad because it's really, really tough to finish. But I love bad maps in the idea that, like, you got a lot of misaligned textures, and there's, like, strange shapes popping up out of nowhere for no explicit reason, like, just weird stuff like that. I love that kind of stuff. Because you get people from all walks of life making maps. You get people of all different ages, people of all different races, making people from all over the world making these maps. And who knows what their interpretation, while playing Quake was of these maps, like what they think is going to be a cool map or whatever. Always love going into that. It's like you're getting a peek at somebody's, how their mind works. This part I was very cautious about, and then I just went for it. I was like, screw this. And as I missed the Death Knight a couple times, we move on and grab the silver key through the teleporter. Fiend behind the door! One thing that id was always good about, I would say 90% of the time, is putting fiends in an area where they don't get caught. There's a lot of parts, or rather a lot of levels in the custom-made database there that you'll find where people put a fiend in a room and they can just back out into another room and the fiend can't get to you. They just keep jumping at the door and they're just stuck. They can't get to you and you just get an easy kill right there. This part of the level I found to be a pretty sticky situation. I'm sure upon playing it again another time I'd be able to handle it a little bit better, but you'll see some pretty sloppy Quake playing right here, and I apologize in advance to anybody who it's going to anger. But hey, I'm dealing with 3 ogres in this really tight space. Give me a little slack, huh? Yeah, id Software is always good at their enemy placement. I would say so far, all the levels that I played, enemy placement has been primo. Fiends can jump at you at any point, so even if you back up and think that you're not going to be able to, or think that you'll be able to escape the Fiend and shoot him from another room, like I've done so many times in the past with custom-made levels, that's just not going to happen here. As you can see, you know, as I run away from a Fiend to kill him, he is jumping right at me, so... Definitely a rule to follow if you're putting Fiends in your level. And I think that's why a lot of newer maps that are made by the current community, you know, they make the levels so damn big. Huge ceilings, you know, wide open spaces. You know, if there's Fiends or Shamblers or whatever, you know, they pretty much rule it. They rule the roost. Here we go, being very cautious around the stairs because I am still getting my ass kicked. Here we go. Grab the armor and the health, and boom! There we go. Another level down. We're not doing too bad here, huh? Trying to take out these ogres here. There's quite a few right here in the beginning area. It should have been called like the episode of ogres or something similar, because they are just all over the place. Oh, right in the face. You joik. He got me on 2 right in the face there. Sloppy, sloppy playing. Now, this is a level that I feel started out very interesting and very different. They sort of put you in this almost like I don't even know how to describe this room architecturally. It's just really weird. You know, you got your stairs on each side, and then you can see the teleporter up top, which you always assume to be the exit. Ogres trapped in there, trying to keep you away from it. And then it just leads into this weird watery part. Definitely not a bad thing, but just a bit strange. And in my opinion, it only gets stranger from here, because there's more water parts that you got to deal with, and a and a very odd elevator part, which again is not something I dislike. It's just something I don't feel like, I guess a lot of the custom maps that I played really took advantage of using in their levels. Once in a while you'll use a platform, but this level is basically like, hey, if you like platforms, you are going to really enjoy this next part coming up here. See, we take out an ogre there. I'm over here hunting around looking for secret doors and secrets of any kind. Underwater ogre, you don't see that too often. And plenty of health underwater just in case we need it. See, here we hit the button. Hit the button, there we go. You hit the button when I tell you, damn it! We extend the bridge. We got the now dead ogre coming after us. And the RL. That's right, baby. Grab ourselves some armor here. And some shells. And we open all the doors. Whoops. Did not expect an elevator to pop up right there. I thought I was going to open another door, but nope. This is this is leading us to the area that I was talking about earlier with the platforms and the water. This area, I think, is very strange for this level. So the entryway to this level, you got this ogre here that I'm slowly taking out. You got another ogre just hanging out down here. I don't know if there's actually another entrance to this level, or if they expected players to kind of just, jump down there and go for it without peeking, taking out the ogres first. But I thought it was a very weird entrance. You drop down, lose a little bit of health here, jump on this platform, and then you find that you got these buttons everywhere. So I take a little bit of a risky jump here, and I thought this was going to be a push button, but it's red. So you actually had to shoot it. Now, if we're counting here, if we're paying attention to such things, I feel like these are the first buttons you actually have to shoot to progress, if I'm not wrong. Which is something I sort of chastise some of the custom maps for, is when they put buttons in there that look like normal pushable buttons, but you're supposed to shoot them. Always confused by that, because if it looks like a pushable button, you should push it, right? I don't know. I guess I'm the only one with a hang-up on that. I'm just searching the water here for more secrets and whatever other goodies I can find. And then at this point, I'm kind of just waiting for platforms to take me around to shoot these different buttons. Still hanging out at 98 health here. Don't want to grab any health unless I have to. And still waiting on platforms. So yeah, this this is what I was talking about here. A bit strange, a bit archaic, like waiting for platforms like that, Not like it's a huge issue. I don't really have a problem with it. This level just introduces a lot of things that you haven't done previously in the game yet. Obviously, as I've said, like, never a bad thing to introduce new stuff. But just weird to play through more than half of the game at this point. And here we go. Opened up this little area. Not a secret, just leads you back to the front. Which I thought was an odd choice, because you get back to the front, elevator won't go back up to take you back up there, and then you just gotta kind of wait for the platform to take you around again. See, it closes. Can't get back in. No elevator back. I don't know. That was a strange alcove, I thought. So yeah, never a bad thing to introduce new stuff, but as I was saying, yeah, just very weird that it's new stuff introduced like more than halfway through the game. And hard to consider intuitive, though I do like shooting that button and then activating the little torture piece against the ogre. I guess that's what I'm finding out about myself, too, is that through these episodes, I love the torture rooms that are made to take out the ogres, because they pretty much deserve it. But then you find out that's why you have to shoot the buttons. You gotta shoot them to activate the platforms. I wonder if that'll be used ever again in the game. Well, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? This room really, really caught me off guard. Was not expecting a fiend coupled with an ogre. Pretty deadly combination, in my opinion. Because you got this ogre just like lobbing grenades at me while this guy is jumping at me. And look at this. Boom. Found a secret I would have never found before without the help of custom maps. The discolored light there. There's our friend the Shambler. Weird how he just kind of pops in there, but hey, everyone's got to make an appearance at some point, right? So here we go. The exit is now open. And boom, there we are. Now that is a level that I'm a bit estranged with, I would say. It's a very odd level with the platforms in the water. I've already mentioned this, I'm not going to go into it again, but just really, really weird. There, see, I thought I was being smart again to find a secret. Jump up here. See, at least with this level introducing the wind tunnels into the game, at least they give a little bit of a tutorial piece there to say, like, hey, jump up here. And then you immediately know, like, oh, if I jump through these, it's going to send me into another part of the level. I don't know where these scrags came from. This guy's a pain. He just won't go down. There we go. Probably help if I hit him, though, right? It's another level that is very water heavy as well. Here we go. We get a little bit of air off of that wind tunnel there if we stick around, which is fun. But this level really plays hell with me because we're going to have to take out a few fiends in a row. So we take out this one guy. Wow, the Hell Knights keep shooting at me here. And then we got these strobe lights, which I'm sorry to anybody who has any kind of a epilepsy problem of some sort. But as we go through each portion of the hallway there, just a new fiend is introduced every single time. You really have no choice but to back up and take him out that way. It's my half-assed attempt to take out the Death Knights, but whatever, right? Yet another fiend. This time I'm hitting him with some accuracy you don't normally see from me. And he is done. And yet another fiend. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, what is going on? How long does this fiend hallway go on for? I was over it. The worst thing about it is that there's, two Death Knights up there with a quad, and I wasn't really sure how to get up to it. Felt a little pressured with the Hell Knights, or Death Knights rather. Sorry, I'm still working on that. But I felt a little pressure with them continually shooting at me, so I'm like, I'm just going to get the hell out of here. Forget the quad. I can take these guys out. So I guess that's a power-up we haven't talked about much, have we? The quad. Maybe we talked about how satisfying it is to have the quad and take enemies out. Always a good feeling. I am completely full on rockets, by the way. I cannot pick those up. I have a full and ready-to-go rocket launcher, which I will be using quite a bit coming up here. But yeah, not only is the quad satisfying to use, to get, to kill enemies with, I mean, you feel ultra and powerful. Not only that, but this, I find out there's like nothing to do in. It's used later as more of a drop-in area. But the quad it's a power-up in this game that's kind of silly because everything in the game has some sort of a fantasy-based name to it, whether it's based on like a Lovecraft thing or based on castles and knights and that kind of thing, or even like space aliens with the base stuff. But the quad damage is funny because it's literally called what it does. It's the quad damage. And what does it do? Oh, well, it lets you do 4 times as much damage than you normally would. Which I think is really funny. Because I believe in this, all the runes have like a different name, and all the episodes have like a different, crazy fantasy name and everything. But the quad damage is just the quad damage. Here we go through another wind tunnel as it pops us right out. You see the wind tunnel up there towards the ceiling. That actually comes into play in a second here, which I thought was like really cool and fun, clever level design. So once you get into this next room here, you go through the wind tunnel that's there, and that pops you out to the grate that's closed behind us right now. And again, so far in Quake, this has been the only level that uses wind tunnels. So I don't know if the wind tunnel is going to be something that is used again at all in the normal game. But I've seen it used in a few different custom maps. It seems to be pretty popular with map authors and that kind of thing. I guess not so popular with id when they were making the game. But it would be interesting to see if it was used again, in what capacity. Here we go, found a secret. Grab the rocket launcher. Grab one pack of nails for now. We'll continue on. And here we go. We jump through this. Look. Whoop. That opens just in time for us to go through it. You can see where we were on the right side there. Really like that. And here we go. This is the drop-in area into that pool that had absolutely nothing to it. And look at that. Just a couple scrags, nothing important. But that's a pool. That's all it was there for, was to catch us and bring us here. One of the things that I did think was a bit strange about this level is that the way the wind tunnels open up for you to use... Wow, this room is kind of a clusterfuck, that's for sure. No shambler, though, so that's always a good thing. But the one thing that I thought was weird is the progression in this level. The way you unlock the wind tunnels and continue on through, you're not hitting buttons or anything like that. Once in a while you hit buttons, like you'll see here. They open grates once in a while. There was earlier a... oh, here we go, a fiend. I'm kind of getting my ass kicked in this part here. But it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. So yeah, the buttons are... There's the shambler. Spoke too soon, didn't we? And he is done. So yeah, you hit a few buttons in this. What did we hit? 2 or 3 buttons in this to unlock grates and that kind of thing. But you can see in certain areas that you don't have to hit anything. And you just kind of like... I guess you're passing through a target, you know, an invisible target in the game, and that triggers that when you arrive in the next area, oh, this will now be open for you. Which, you know, not really a big deal, but just a little weird, because, you know, on one hand you have these buttons that are doing things, and then on the other hand you just kind of show up and things happen, so, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like a mixed message for whoever's playing. Not that you're really going to think twice about it, but if you think in depth and have time to think about these things, like I do right now because I'm not doing anything else, these are the things that are going to nag at you. If you spend your time thinking about Quake, these are the things you're going to think about, whether they're important or not. Here we go. We head back up here for some air. And some more scrag killing. And in through the final wind tunnel, I don't even mess with it. I just go right through the exit. And here we are. We are in the final level for this episode. It's unfortunate, this was the first episode that I played through where I did not get to the secret level. So there is actually a 7th level to play through in this episode. But yeah, I was not able to find it. I think it's one of those things where... Oh man, we spawned a Vor on that bridge there, which you'll see in a second. This room is kind of a cluster too. Enemies keep coming after you. You got your Death Knight, your Ogre here coming after you, and then scrags from the windows, scrags from the water area. Then, of course, whoa, hidden pineapple. Where'd that come from? Oh, another Ogre. So this first room here really launches the enemies at you. You really gotta watch your ass here. So here we go, we got the Vor coming after me here. Or not really coming after me, but was shooting his weird... I'm sorry. Another thing I was corrected on recently, it's actually a her. The Vor is a her, I guess. So she's shooting her weird purple balls at me there. But yeah, it's unfortunate that I wasn't able to get the secret level on tape here. Always fun to play through like everything that an episode has to offer, but hey, you know, as this was my first time playing through the entirety of Episode 3. In fact, this is the first time I've ever played through anything in Episode 3. When I played through that first base level at the beginning of this, I didn't recognize that level at all. So all of these are completely new to me. But that, you know, that's going to happen when you play through a brand new map. You're not going to know secrets, you're not going to know how to get to secret areas. It's just, hey, it's life, you know? But I think it's definitely a level I'm going to punch in at some point in the console and just bring up and play through, just so I can say I played through it. We got another Vor here waiting for us. A lot easier to take out this time, though. When you got a packet full of rockets, there's not much that's going to stop you in this game, except for, what, the Shambler? Shambler no likey explodey things. Something I had to learn, what was it, maybe around 20 episodes in? Another commenter, I apologize, I forget the name, letting me know that, hey, listen, explosions, they don't do well against the Shambler. Quit doing it. And right they were. Nails be thy weapon that you use against that Shambler. Another Death Knight, another Vor around the corner here. This level is full of them. But I'm doing pretty good at taking them out with that rocket launcher. Ogre he took way too many rockets to kill, but he's done. And I have so many rockets at this point, I really don't care. I mean, I really found myself at the end of this episode and the end of episode 2 with an absolute ton of rockets to use. I didn't notice it while I was playing it through, but where you grab the key right there, it's interesting because you could see where you gotta go, or where you will be going. But at the same time, if you avoid those ogres, they could technically shoot grenades out of that area down to where you're at, so they could still be a nuisance, which is kind of clever. Now, using the rocket launcher through this level is kind of a theme for me, you'll notice. It actually ends up coming in handy at the end. And you'll see what I mean. Not that it hasn't come in handy already. I mean, it's helped me destroy some dudes, but... we actually get to catch it on film. The other use of the rocket launcher, which I'm sure everybody already knows what I'm talking about. Doors opened elsewhere. We continue on into this room. Greeted, of course, by scrags and ogres. Why not? I got 90 rockets left. I'm just going to take some pot shots at this guy and whatever, right? So you can see the gold key is up there just hanging out. And the gold key door is right there. So really, I could have done what I'm about to do in a very different way. And, you know, instead of... yeah, I'll make you wait for it. I think it's really cool. I'm sure when everybody sees it, they're going to be like, yeah, no duh, dude. That's how I finished this level, too. But when I saw it, it was one of those things that just occurred to me. And I did it. Successfully on the first try, too, might I add. There we go. Death Knight trapping me on the elevator here. fell onto the elevator because he really wanted to get a piece of me. Here we go, something stupid. I find a secret, and I completely fall down. A big doing moment for me. Grab some health. Grab a few rockets. I don't consider this to be much of a secret area, just because, like, yeah, you know, I already got plenty of rockets. I'm doing pretty good for health. I mean, there's 2 health boxes down here that I haven't even used, so whatevs, right? Moving on. Another Death Knight. I'm hanging out, saving that health in case I need to pick it up in a second. No sense in wasting it for 2 points. Accidentally grabbed that, but what can you do? So this area I thought was pretty wild. You got this crazy nail trap here that you have to try to fall down without actually getting hit, but they are being shot everywhere. So you hit the button, grab the health, and actually we did pretty good there, not getting hit. Take out an ogre. And what do we have around here? Oh my god. Couple Vors on the bridge. I get hit right on, but luckily we got some health there, so no big deal. So I take out the Vors here. And then I do something that I think was super sporadic, and I'm impressed that I thought to do it. Because I figured I was just going to keep going, go through the rest of the level. And here we go. I'm checking this out, looking for enemies. And I turn around here and I look up there and I'm like, there's the rune. And there's the exit, right? Okay, check this out. Boom! I have not lost all of my multiplayer skill. Rocket jump, my friend. Rocket jump. And the thing that I was talking about earlier, that I could have rocket jumped up to the gold key and grabbed the gold key, walked right down and opened that door and went for it. But I would have been in for a big surprise with the 2 Vors sitting there for me, so I think the way that I planned to go there was pretty good. So there you have it, everybody. That is the end of Quake Episode 3. Really enjoyed that episode. I feel like that episode so far has had some of the game's best maps in it. A couple of those maps were a lot of fun to play through. This one was a lot of fun too. This last one was great. But you know, hey, there's even more Quake to come in Episode 4, right? And I guess these are going to be the hardest levels? I mean, they damn well better be, right? So, of course, you know, hideous creatures, their existence threatens the souls and psyches of all the population of Earth. So we really got to take them out. So here we go. We got our 3 rune plates up, just waiting. And then we have Episode 4 waiting for us. So I will see you all next time on the Quake Raid, where we play through Episode 4 of Quake, and we also go to take out the main boss, Shub. See you then.